Hey y'all, it's me T. If you don't know, now you know. And today we are going to be doing a girl talk. I put a girl talk poll on Instagram, and so I already skimmed through, like, I literally opened up one question and I was like, oh shit. Like, I literally had to log off, like, after just seeing one question, because I know, like, these questions that you guys are asking, I know they're just, like, really outlandish, because I am the person that you would come to for these types of things. So it's totally fine, but I was just like, whoa. I was eating, some girl asked me if a pimple that was on her pussy was herpes. I'm just like, girl, child, I don't know. Is it poppable? Do you maybe need to go to the doctor? I don't know. I can't see it. I do, though, remember one time in high school, my homegirl had an ingrown hair, and she came to me. She came to me. And so I had to make a decision then whether or not I was going to help her with this or make her feel embarrassed. And I decided to help her with it because I like popping things. So I popped it. And it was so fucking big, it was so fucking gross. But I popped this fucking pimple that was on her pussy. And it was like ingrown hair. We took the ingrown hair out. It was like 5 hairs in this one thing. I took it out with the tweezers. She just laid there on the floor. Poor girl. She's scarred for life. You know, I'm not a professional. I don't know what I'm doing. But I do know that, you know, 5 years later, she did have a mark on her pussy from us doing that. So I would say, just, you know, if you are watching this, or if you do have an ingrown hair down there, be careful, you know, because bad things could happen if you're not. I would definitely pop it, but I would pop it, like, in the shower when it's, like, steamy and stuff, so it's like your pores open. And then, like, I would do some aftercare, like, to take care of it, like putting, like, you know, like, not alcohol, because I know alcohol, like, scars your skin, but I know for sure you could put, like, pussy. I know you could, like, for sure do, like, coconut butter. I don't know. I'm not the girl to come to for these types of things. As far as, like, how to take care of, like, yourself, I don't know, because I don't really give a fuck. But, I do know that there are things that you should take precaution and do, like, after, if you are going to be popping things, especially if they're near your pussy. If you think that you have an STD, you should probably just go to the doctor. I don't know if you should be talking to me, because I'm not, like, a professional. So, anywho, though, let's get into this, questionnaire. It's fucking hot as fuck in this house. Oh my god. Okay. How do I stop overthinking bad shit about a good nigga? That's pretty hard. That was one of the main reasons why I even started smoking weed, was because, like, I would have these boyfriends and they would just stress me out, and I would be like, just overthinking all of this negative things that could be happening. So I would, like, smoke, because I was like, okay, if I just smoke, I'll probably just be chill and everything will be fine. And then I would, like, check myself and I would, like, watch a movie or whatever. But I just, really, though, I think the ultimate thing is just, like, just put your, like, you know, energy to a different source, you know, like, other than, you know, him and what he could be doing wrong. Because here's the thing, regardless, he's gonna do what he wants to do anyway. And I know it's easier said than done to just be like, oh yeah, not think about him and just, like, focus your life on other things. But it's like, really, you just have to take the steps to do it. Like, you need to hang out with your friends, you could come up with your hobbies, you can read a book, you can do self-care things like take a bath. There's other things that you could be doing with your life than stressing over some nigga. If he's cool and he treats you right, just let him do that. If he's not, or you have a bad feeling, then usually the thing is about women, like, we really do have good intuition. So if you think he ain't shit, he probably ain't. So it's up to you on whether or not you want to continue to be with that person. But to sit there and overthink it and stress yourself out about it, it's not even worth it. Either go through with the whole thing, like, go through his phone and figure the shit out, or just dead the shit and be like, it is what it is, let me do me. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like, you know, I feel like that was, like, we're getting somewhere. That was the first question. Sorry if it wasn't, like, the most solid advice for you, you know, for that question, but I just feel like there's so many other things that you could be doing than overthinking. I'm trying to get over someone who was toxic for me. Advice: I think the best thing to do when you're trying to get over a breakup, especially a bad one, is to just literally spend time by yourself. And if you have to like literally just be in the bed and cry for days, or you need to go on a trip, or you need to be surrounded by other people, or you need to hop on the next dick, girl, I'm all for it. Just try to just move on, move forward, and not be too pressed on what was. Just try to learn from it. I think that's when it's like really vital to start writing, or like, you know, typing things in your notes and just expressing yourself and saying how you feel, just to let all of those emotions out, just so you can let them go, and then, you know, just keep it pushing. But it's hard, but if you just take the time and you really love yourself and you really want to keep going, and you don't want to like sit here and be like, how are you still in a toxic relationship when you're not, and feeling the same and feeling those things of that toxic relationship that it caused on you, but you're not even in the relationship anymore. Like, we're not about to do that. Let's just move forward, let that go completely, do what we have to do, and then evolve. How can I always be confident like you are? So I feel like I get this question a lot, and I just want to be clear, like, you know, I'm not like the most confident person in the world, and I think, you know, it's like not like a secret or anything like that, but at the end of the day, I do make sure that I, you know, have some sense of self, so then that way I can move accordingly and get the things that I want out of life. So I just kind of just, you know, for a long time I just would just be me. Like, it was never about being pretty or what I look like on the outside, because I felt like people would just tell me I was pretty, just to tell me I was pretty. I didn't know that they actually thought that I was pretty, but like I was just kind of like, I don't know, I just was always more focused on what was on the inside of who I was. And even if like I know I'm not like the nicest person in the world, like, you know, I don't really care. Like, I don't care what other people think. Like, I know who I am. I fuck with me. There's some things about myself where I'd be like, oh damn, I should work on that, or whatever the case may be. But I always keep a solid attitude in like the fact that like I am who I am. And even if like that bothers people, or it even could bother me at sometimes, I just have to literally just, you know, pick myself up every fucking day. I'm the only one that's gonna be here for myself. Like, nobody else is gonna sit here and be like, you know, tell me every day, you know, you're pretty, or, you know, you're special, or you are enough. Like, nobody's gonna sit here and do that. Most people nowadays especially are gonna sit here and be like, you ain't shit, you're ugly, you should do this, like you should do porn, you should just be like, you know, you should just sell yourself short. Like, people will say things like that just because how they feel about themselves. So it's just like that's already so much. There's already enough of that. Like, I don't need that. Like, it's cool. Like, I would much rather just, you know, be nice to myself. There's so many other people out here that are being mean. Why would I be mean to myself too? So you just have to really take the time to just be like, what are the things I like, what are the things I don't like in the world, and what are the things I like, and what are the things that I don't like in myself. And then once you figure those things out, you can move accordingly. But I think really mainly it's just kind of like just being like okay with whatever it is. Like, it doesn't even fucking matter. Like, okay, yes, so what? Like, you know, I have a funny nose, or yes, so what? Like, I have, you know, whatever. Like, whatever you feel like you don't like, I don't know, you could just be like whatever about it. I don't know, it's just, I don't know, there's so many much more important things in life than to be thinking about what the fuck you look like, or what somebody thinks about what you look like, you know. Like people have been like, told me, you know, I'm ugly before, and it's like, you know, it's disappointing more than anything, like, that somebody feels the need to say that, you know, or comment, that someone feels the need to comment on my, like, appearance, like my exterior, as if like, you know, anybody's, you know, better than me, you know, or, you know, like, where it's like we're all just like people just trying to figure it out. Like, I just feel like there could be so much more to life than what I look like, you know. Like, I feel like a lot of people base confidence on the outer appearance, but a lot of the time confidence really just comes from within, and it's just like how you feel about certain things. Because when I'm, like, if somebody hurts my feelings, or I feel sad, or, you know, like, or I feel like I don't know, you know, the answers to something, then I might be like, damn, like, maybe I didn't do that right, or maybe, you know, like, I start to get maybe a little insecure, or whatever the case, because the energy, you know, around me that is telling me, no, 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 you can't do it, or that's not right. Like, I just feel like regardless, you have to have that backbone to be like, you know what, I don't know, you know, I may not know, I may not be the smartest, I may not, you know, have it all figured out, or I may, you know, not be, you know, the best person for you and what you have in your mind or in your life, but like this is it, and this is me, and I'm only getting better every day, and like, it's a pleasure to be in my life, and it's a pleasure to be around me. It's a pleasure to be my friend with even all my flaws and hang-ups. I'm still me. I'm still the shit. And like that, like, you can't take that from me. So you don't have to be involved. You don't have to be around. You don't have to think anything positive about me. But at the end of the day, this is it. And it's like, I live with it. You don't have to. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, I don't know. that's just really like how I feel. Like, I don't know. I've tried to explain, like, what it is to be confident, but I feel like that might be like a whole nother video and a whole in-depth conversation that I would have to have with you guys, you know, in order to get to the bottom of the steps on exactly how to be confident. But I hope that this explanation, even though it was a little bit all over the place, that it helped in some sort of way. What is the best way to love yourself? I think the best way to love yourself. The best way to love yourself is just kind of understanding yourself. Like, it kind of goes back to the confidence question, because it's just like, you have to know what you like and what you don't like. So then that way, when those things arise, you know what to do. Because if something happens, right? Here's an example. If something happens and I know I don't like it, it's on my list of the things that I don't like, it's my duty for myself, because I love myself, to remove myself from that situation, or to make sure that that doesn't happen again. That's the best way to love yourself, is by protecting yourself, I think. I think when you protect yourself, you love yourself. It's like you can love something so much. You can like, let's say too, like, even like, okay, like in regards to a relationship, like, a relationship is this, like, one of my ex-boyfriends, I loved him, right? You know, I loved him with everything in my being. Like, oh, I loved him so much. But he wasn't good for me. He was toxic. It wasn't healthy for me. He would do things that I didn't really like. And it was just like, at that point, I had to make the decision for myself that this isn't right. This isn't the person for me. No matter how much I loved him, it didn't matter. I knew that I had to love myself more. So if I love myself more than the person that I love, like, I couldn't be with him anymore. That situation, to let go of somebody or something that you love, all because you love yourself more, that's something so special. So I feel like that is like so vital, and that's the best way to love yourself, is by just always putting yourself first. Is it worth it to get back with someone who said they weren't gonna fuck during a break? Well, it just depends. Did they actually have sex during the break with someone else? Like, when you guys broke up, did they go have sex with someone else? regardless whether they did or not, you guys were on a break. So even though they said they wouldn't and they did, people say a lot of shit. How did you even find out, even if he did have sex with somebody? Did you go through his phone? Did he tell you? It just depends. But what it ultimately boils down to is, do you really want to be with this person? Regardless, sex is sex. Sometimes. Sometimes sex is special and sometimes sex is just sex. So it really just depends on you as a person, and really what the stipulation of what had happened with this whole ordeal with him and his y'all break. Like, and what he did. I just kind of feel like it's really up to you. If you're going to be arguing with him about him having sex with somebody else during the break, then you probably shouldn't be with him. You probably should just move on. But if you don't care, and you just, like, and you're, you know, and you can understand that you guys were on a break and people do things that they say they, you know, most people do things that they say, people do things that they say they're not going to do, then, I mean, you can still be with him. But I don't know, I don't really like him just based off that question. How can I tell if a guy is playing me? Do you feel like he's playing you? How can you tell if a guy is playing you? Usually if a guy's like secretive with his phone, that's like the #1 thing where you can kind of tell a guy's playing you. If like, you know, I think that's like the main thing. I'm like trying to think of other things. Like if you see other girls saying stuff on, you know, Instagram, like on his comments, or like if he's like following his ex-girlfriend, or like just like little things like that that are just like weird, like then mostly like he's playing. Like, I don't know, because sometimes I know as girls we can be like, oh yeah, like we think that, you know, they're playing us, you know, just because we've been played before. So, you know, you don't want to be played again, so you think every guy's playing you. And that's not necessarily the case, because there are some good guys out here. But yeah, you just kind of, it's kind of like a hit or miss, because you just don't know. I mean, but here's my thing. Everything that's like done in the dark, it be coming to light. Like there's no real secrets in a relationship. And things that are kept secret don't last forever as a secret. They just never do. I mean, I've never known anybody's secret to stay a secret. Not even my own. So it's just like, if somebody's playing you, it usually is going to come out. Like, you're going to either be able to tell for sure, you're going to have proof, or you're just going to be like, you're just going to see the signs. But I don't know the specifics. If I feel like somebody's playing me, I just start playing. That's just me. But I'm sure you could like look it up on Wikipedia. What are some signs of cheating? I feel like guys don't know how to cheat. So it's just like whatever. It's just like the phone, like I said, the phone, like the ex-girlfriends. Girls are very quick to be like, that's my man. So it's just like, if somebody's telling you that's their man, then usually in their world it is. My boyfriend is ugly. What do I do? Oh my God, one time I dated an ugly boy. But he got cute, you know what I'm saying? Like, I helped make him cute. He was always confident, so I was always cool with that. But he was ugly, but now he's real cute, like, and we're not even together no more. But he looked good, So I think it's just like, you could probably help him, you know, like help him get his shit together. Like that's what I did. I was like, oh, why don't you grow your hair like this, or like why don't you, like, you know, do that. Or he would ask me, or what do you think of this? I'll be like, yes or no. You know what I mean? Like, you just kind of help him out, get cute, and then I don't know what happens after you fall in love with people that are ugly. They all of a sudden start looking cute to you. So what age did you first lose your virginity? I was 17. I can't see this whole question. I don't know why the thing's tripping. It says, if your best friend is dry as a board and turned up with their other friends every time, what should I think she was going to say, what should I do? I always thought that was weird because, like, if I'm hanging out with you and me and you are having a good time and you're supposed to be one of my best friends, you know, why? Maybe, though. It's kind of hard being, like, when you're you might need to ask your best friend if everything's okay, because if she's being dry with you but like la 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 with everybody else, that means she just can't fake the funk with you, because you're her best friend and she knows that you're gonna know like what's wrong, or you know, whatever the case may be. Or maybe, you know, like maybe like she feels like she can have more fun with other people. Maybe she feels like she can open up a little bit more with other people without being judged. You never really know why they're being one way with you and other ways with other people. So it's probably best to just take the time to literally just ask, or you could just give her space, and then maybe she'll come to you when she's ready to talk to you about whatever it is that's going on or what she's feeling. But usually when things are like, you know, like different like that, there's something that's going on. So you might want to ask. How do you control your man from liking other girls? Sorry to break it to you, but you can't control anything. You can't control anything. You can't control anyone, especially your boyfriend from liking other girls. People are human and they're gonna like other things. Like saying you can only like your favorite food, macaroni. Like, you know, you can only like macaroni, but you know, if you're looking at those yams, that might be a problem to somebody. Like, why? Like, I just like what I like. Like, I like macaroni and yams sometimes. Like, macaroni's my favorite, but like sometimes I want yams, and sometimes I want cornbread, sometimes I want chicken, even though I may not want chicken all the time, and I'm always gonna want macaroni. Sometimes I just might want to look at it or eat it or lick it or do something. That's just how people are, and it sucks, but it just is what it is. That's why it's just kind of like, I'm at this point in my life where I'm like, do I even really believe in relationships? It's just kind of just like, I feel like it's just so just, ugh. It's just so draining, like, to just have to be trying to be the only one to somebody. Like, you could just be, you know, you could just be. It doesn't have to be about you or anybody else. You could just be. You could just be here and mind your own business. Somebody likes somebody else and they can't see the specialness in you, and you have standards and boundaries that require people only to like you, then you need to keep going. If that person that you likes somebody else, and you are very strong about them making you the only one in your life, then you need to move on, because then that person is not the one for you. How do you handle a friend that does you dirty but you find hard to cut off because of history? So it's like, you know, when you love somebody but they just, but like they get on your nerve or they do you wrong, and you're just like, damn, but I still love them. And yeah, we have past, we have a history. That doesn't mean that you necessarily have to let them go. That just means that they can't serve the same position in your life that they did before. So it's like, they can be in your life still if you love them. Like, of course, like if you love somebody, you can't help it. You love that person and you want that person in your life. They just can't probably be in that same position because maybe, you know, they took a little bit of advantage of that position. So now you have to move them around in your life accordingly. So breaks are really good. And then that way you can determine on how you would like them in your life. But I think maybe like instead of hanging out with them every day, maybe you would hang out with them, you know, once a week or once a month. It just depends on how you feel. But you're obviously not going to tell them things that you used to tell them, or you're not going to, you know, do the same things that you used to do. But at least they're still in your life. I think that's just called adulting, you know. So it's like, yes, they hurt you and they did something wrong. I think that conversation needs to be had for whatever happened that they did dirty to you. but you could definitely move forward from it. You could definitely become stronger. With that being said, people do change. People do make mistakes. So there's so many different things that can happen and result from this new situation that has like arose in your guys' relationship. But I'm sure, like, if you guys really love each other, you guys can figure it out, and then that way you can move accordingly to this new chapter. My boobies are saggy, and that's why I'm afraid to date anyone. I'm insecure. Okay, so this one thing that I used to do, well, so this one thing that I like will do if I'm ever feeling insecure, is I'll stand in front of my mirror like butt ass naked, and I'll talk to myself, and I'll look at everything on my body, and if there's something that I don't like, then I pay attention to it more, and I cry for it, I love it, I give it attention, and then I move on. I keep going. You can't let something kill you in the inside just because of what you look like on the outside. Here's the thing. Boobs are so beautiful. Like, boobs are just like amazing. Like, if you would see a guy daunt over boobs, like, it's so funny. I didn't even realize how important boobs were until like recently. I was just like, damn, like, people really like boobs. And whether they're like saggy or not, or one's bigger than the other, or one's hard, or like one's like ugly, or like, I don't know, whatever the case is, it's just like, it doesn't fucking matter, bro. It does not fucking matter. You have to love it. Fuck if somebody else loves it. The person that's for you is gonna love you no matter what. No matter what. If you wanna fix it, then by all means fix it. Do whatever you have to fucking do to fix it. If you work, and you need the money to fucking get a boob job, bitch, get your boob job. Do whatever the fuck it is that you wanna do. But I can promise you, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter the surgeries you get. It doesn't matter what you do. You're always gonna find something about yourself that you don't like. You just have to take the time with it to get to know it and to love it and accept it. Just accept it, because there's so many other things that are important in life. Like, if you're insecure, like, I've realized, like, the times that I am insecure, which usually comes around like my period, or like after a breakup, like you feel ugly and stuff like that. But like, it's just like, I don't like, these insecurities are stopping me from my growth, are stopping me from making the money I need to be making, are stopping me from the people that I could be meeting right now, the energy I could be bringing into my life. Like, these insecurities are killing me. Like, you cannot let your insecurities kill you. You have to stay strong. You have to love yourself. You have to take time with yourself. You have to do research. You have to put the work in. And then once you do that, you can just move. You can just be like, here I am, me and my saggy titties. You either like it or you fucking don't. But guess what? It doesn't fucking matter, because I like myself. If you like yourself, it doesn't even fucking matter. Don't be insecure about what a guy's gonna think about it. If he's the one, or if he's an actual cool person, he'll love you no matter what. Guys don't really care about stuff like that. They really don't. Like, I know some guys are like picky and everything like that, but most guys just want, like, I feel like, just like a cool girl, like, that's confident. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be the most beautiful girl in the world, but just at least love yourself, like, that's like the least you could do for yourself as a human, and especially as a woman. We hold so much power, and then we let our insecurities get in the way, and then it's just like this sad, never-ending story of, oh, I'm a victim and I can't do good for myself and I'm not enough, when it's like, in reality, bitch, you're the shit. You're the shit. You just have to believe it. Do you wear your waist trainer all day or only when you work out? So it just depends on how I'm feeling, but I do both. I have even worn my waist trainer when I would go to sleep. Like, this was when I was like obsessed with my waist being small, because I was like getting nervous, because at a time I went from a 22-inch waist to a 26 or 24-inch waist, get 25, something like that, between those numbers. and I got like scared, so I started wearing my waist trainer to sleep, and that kind of helped too. So it just depends, but I've worn it when I work out, I've worn it when I do my errands, and like I mainly like, because I have like back problems, and I mainly would wear my waist trainer when I would like clean and cook and do things like that, because it would be a lot like on my back to be standing for that long and doing stuff. But my waist trainer has helped a lot with my posture, so it's not like I need to wear it so much while I'm doing my errands. But that's when I like to wear it the most, honestly. It's like when I'm doing my errands or like just doing like housework. Someone said that they don't sell those period pants here in the UK, so I was already going to do it anyway, so I'm going to put the link to my shop down below, so you guys can click and see if you guys want the waist trainers, or if you guys want some diapers, because I'm about to also start selling some diapers, my favorite ones. And I know some people are like, oh, do you know, ship internationally? I do. I ship everywhere, ship all over the world, so it's a little bit more pricey because, you know, I have to pay for shipping from here, and that shit's expensive, so I have to charge you guys the amount that they charge me. So shipping is expensive for out of the country, but I think it'll be well worth it because, you know, I don't really charge a lot for stuff. Like, my items are pretty cheap on my store. So there's gonna be also some new additions to how to get like a fat booty, because I know a lot of girls are like, oh yeah, how do you have such a nice body? And it's really just like, that's a whole nother video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and then we can maybe do another girl talk with T if you guys like this one. I know I have like a couple of different questions and I didn't really get to answer them, but I think this was good enough. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, just make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Sorry I didn't get to every single question, but maybe we can do that another video if you guys like this video. Trying to get to 200k subscribers, so help me out, you guys, so Logan will marry me. Okay, great. Thanks. Bye.